Good morning. Happy Saturday. I'm back again with almost like an unboxing. Got a shipment in yesterday from the Sound of Vinyl, the discount or the deal I told you all about earlier this week. I placed the order on Monday. It showed up yesterday. Yesterday was Friday. And what a deal. I got a couple of single albums for 15 bucks a pop and a double album for 20 bucks. And here we go. This, of course, the packaging came in. I checked it already. I've already got it in box. I filmed it, but the video didn't want to record, so it's just my luck. But here we go. This is the purchases from the Sound of Vinyl this week, and we're going to start with the oldest album to the newest album first. And starting us out, heads up, this is all Jimmy Buffett. So I added to my Jimmy Buffett collection this week, and for 15 bucks, I scored this awesome, great album. The Living and Dying in Three-Quarter Time. This is a classic Buffett album. I know that my buddies over at the Audible Ecstasy, Chris and Anthony, they both love this record. And having this on vinyl is awesome. The back cover, of course, that shark, fantastic. It looks awesome. The Good Luck boat with Jimmy Buffett on it, that's another classic, just a classic picture of JB back in the day. One of my favorite songs on this album, The Wino, and I know I love that song. Always have loved it. But yeah, 15 bucks, could not pass that up. I love it. And now the second album I got, and a little backstory here. We did a podcast on our top Buffett songs and Buffett albums, and this album is one of my top 5 albums. And I have been waiting to get this just for a sale or a deal. Finally scored it. Here it is. One Particular Harbor, absolutely fantastic album. Classic Buffett as a captain on there, getting on the boat with his suitcase and luggage. Back of the album cover with the old boat from the like a warship from the 1700s or something. It's just killer. This album has so many bangers, so many great songs on it. I say bangers, it's not a metal album, but Stars on the Water. I mean, my God, One Particular Harbor, which we all know and love. 12-Volt Man, Brown Eyed Girl, the cover, that is well loved by all his fans, and Distantly in Love, which is arguably top 5 song for me. I love that song, always have, always will. This album means so much in my history of being just a JB fan from back in the day. Tons and tons of memories listening to this on CD, and just absolutely loving everything about this. All right. And the final album's a double album I picked up. Been waiting for it to come on vinyl since I started doing the vinyl purchases a few years back. And I gotta give a shout out. Of course, I think it's weird how friendships work. Anthony and Chris, some of my oldest friends in this world, and Anthony, I think, got Chris into Jimmy Buffett, and Chris, of course, in turn got me into Jimmy Buffett. And about the time Chris got me into Buffett, I think he came over to my house, and him and Anthony may have already gone and saw a concert. I can't remember for sure, but he brought over, I think, 2 CDs, and if I'm not mistaken, A1A was one of them, and I want to think Fruitcakes was the other one. And we, Friday night we were drinking, I'm sure, just hanging out and listening to this stuff. And at the time, I was full on metal, hard rock kind of guy, and we all, if you grew up in the 80s and you were driving and you're in high school in the late 80s and early 90s, you probably had songs by heart by default. I think they issue it to you when you turn 16 in the state of Virginia, probably. I don't even know. But I had that, and it just never really grabbed me. Party songs, the Why Don't We Get Drunk stuff, when you're a teenager, yeah, it's great, fun, ha, ha, ha. But it wasn't like a regular spin at the time. And all of a sudden, Chris brings me A1A and, of course, Fruitcakes, and I was like, wow. And from that day forward, I promise you, I think I went the next day and picked this up right here on CD, and now I have it on vinyl. It was never pressed on vinyl previously. It just got pressed in the last year. I've been waiting to buy this because the price was ridiculous. It's always been around 35 to 40 bucks, depending on where you look, and finally on sale for 20 bucks. I could not pass it up. This is arguably my second favorite Buffett album behind A1A, nonetheless. Once again, if it hadn't been for Chris and Anthony kind of diving into JB back in the early 90s, I think this was 90, 93, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 94. But I went on that path and became just a huge Jimmy Buffett fan and a diehard there for quite a few years from that probably 93 until God, I was pushing 2000, multiple concerts. I spent a lot of time in the Carolinas seeing him live, and I loved every minute of it. Uh, Went with various groups of friends from my lifeguard years. Of course, Chris and I have seen tons of times together. Anthony and I went a few times together because Anthony's been living far away from me and Chris for the most part. So we haven't had a lot of time to connect. But yeah, this right here, I didn't get to see this tour. This is the tour that Chris and Anthony saw. I was able to see the next one, the Barometer Soup tour and the Banana Wind tour, and then basically every summer tour he did up until about 2000, either in Charlotte or Raleigh, and some years both cities. Saw him in Atlanta a couple times. Yeah, man, I'm remembering all this stuff. It's just amazing. But yes, Fruitcakes on Vinyl, guys. Yeah, I love this album. Always have. I can't wait to spin this. Of course, this is Saturday, and if you can't tell by the hat, it is the first Saturday of college football. And huge. I love college football. Love college basketball. I'm a huge Kentucky fan, and I know, ironically, to some folks out there, I'm a huge Tennessee fan too. So it doesn't sound like it's like blood and water not mixing, so to speak. But whenever the Wildcats and the Vols aren't playing each other, I'm go Cats, go Vols. But when they play each other, I'm full blue-blooded. So I mean, it's my Eastern Kentucky heritage that's speaking through that. Nonetheless, I just wanted to quickly share this unboxing, or what was going to be an unboxing is now a just sharing my new albums. Yeah, I can't wait to listen to this stuff. Got to work today for a little while. But when I get home tonight or this evening, I plan on spinning all three of these guys, and sitting back and relaxing and just kind of taking it all in on the vinyl. And one other thing, if you haven't noticed, I did change the channel name to a new name. I think I did that swap on Thursday, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. Conversed with my podcast co-host there, and me and Anthony talked about it briefly, and I told him what my thoughts were behind it. And I think my thoughts are, as I'm getting older, my love for music's never changed. I'm getting deeply into vinyl. I'm trying to upgrade my components that I have over here. I keep looking over here. That's where my stereo is. But the future is I plan on getting a new preamp or a new receiver and a replacement record player, because I've got an Audio Technica, and it's a good player, but I want to get something with the interchangeable head so I can upgrade and get different tonalities. But I'm looking into that right now. So back to the name change, I'm going with the name Listen with Intent, because if you listen to physical media, you have this it's something different. We can all listen to the music on our phones, Bluetooth speakers or whatever. But when you sit down and you take a CD or a piece of vinyl, or you take a cassette and you put it into a player, and you sit on your couch, you sit in your rocking chair, wherever you sit on your back porch, wherever you have this player, you sit back and you listen. And you listen to this music with an intention to appreciate, or want to appreciate, because you don't want to spend money on something and not like it or not appreciate it. So I changed it to Listen Intent, because that's what I do when I put on a record. I sit back and I try to listen to it with the intentions to appreciate what that music stands for. And I think that's what my channel is going to stand for moving forward. And I really think it fits exactly what I want to put out here on YouTube. So I'm part of this. I'm trying to be part of this vinyl community that shares my love, my passion for this 12-inch format that I grew to appreciate, a few years back, simply because I had a good friend open a record shop, and it all started with, him selling me a used piece of vinyl. I didn't even have a record player, and ironically enough, it was a Jimmy Buffett album, Havana Daydreamin'. I paid $1 for it. Now, that album needs to be replaced because it's an original pressing, but it's been mistreated. So it does have some pops, hisses, some skips. So I do want to get an upgraded copy of that. And as soon as I find that one on sale, you guys know the rule. If it's on sale, I'll buy it. And one last thing before I cut off today, Rhino.com. If you're a fan of Rhino pressings, their Labor Day sale is going on right now. It is 15% off just about everything in the shop. I did place an order for something that's huge, something I love, and I can't wait. I'm not sure my camera's shaking. That's awesome. But I can't wait to share that with you guys when I get it in. It should be probably a week and a half because I'm sure they won't ship it out till next week. You know, being the holiday and stuff, it'll probably get shipped on Tuesday or Wednesday. So we'll see how that goes. But for now, that's all. It's Saturday. Go enjoy the weekend and just keep on spinning. And remember, listen with intent. Have a great day.